Zombies, zombies, zombies. Easily one of the most overrated horror villains ever created, in my opinion. I've never been able to understand their overwhelming appeal. They shuffle around, moan a lot, and eat people. Whoop-de-shit. The only way they're even remotely terrifying is if you're somehow trapped in an enclosed space with many of them, which always happens in zombie movies because oftentimes the protagonists are seemingly too fucking lazy to walk. Personally, they don't get interesting until Dan O'Bannon's 1989 The Return of the Living Dead. This is to zombie movies what Scream is to slasher flicks, though I think Return of the Living Dead has aged better. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Regardless of how I may feel about The Walking Dead in cinema, I kinda dig them in video games. Before I ever played Capcom's Resident Evil, I was exposed to Corpse Killer and The House of the Dead. Corpse Killer was developed and published by Digital Pictures. That's right, boils and ghouls, the very same folks that gave us the infamous Night Trap. Like Night Trap, it was birthed on the SEGA CD and later ported to several other platforms, including 32X. That is how I first experienced this title. Tom Zito presents. I swear, this mother humper must have been the Yui Bowl of video games. Whenever you see his name, you just know that whatever you're playing was shat down his strata chocolata for mass consumption. Many of his games have somehow nested in the bloated colon of nostalgia as if they were undigested meat. Sadly, this is one of them. Corpse Killer is technically an FMV game, but it's really just a ho-hum shooter with shitty cutscenes. I'll explain, but first I must discuss the so-called plot. You're an unnamed commando of sorts that lands on some tropical island, is there any other kind in these stories, and your mission is to stop Dr. Hellman from unleashing a man-made undead menace on an unsuspecting populace. You may recognize Dr. Hellman as Vincent Schiavelli. This guy's everywhere. He's been in Ghost and Tomorrow Never Dies, just to name a few. God, maybe he had a mortgage payment or something. Okay, you parachute in, get snagged on a tree, and your nameless lackey is soon bitten by a zombie. Before this Walking Dead fashion victim can finish the job, a badass Jamaican bloke shows up talking all kinds of gibberish and kills the Alice Cooper stand-in.
Welcome to hell, sucker! Get your booty down here, you poor damn fool! Winston gonna cut you down, man. But we gotta jump quick now. Zombie come. You dying, Lieutenant. Zombie bite got a poison in you. Winston Crown.
I'm kinda liking this guy. Sure, I can't understand a word coming out of his mouth, but I'm cool with that. I didn't understand Chewie either. So you two ride around in a jeep a little bit, scoping the sitch, receiving messages from Al-Qaeda. Wait, it's Dr. Hellman himself, my bad. After that lengthy cutscene, you finally get to hurt things a la Lethal Enforcers. It's a first-person perspective where you perish zombies as they shuffle, rush, and fucking fly towards you. Then there are these really weird radioactive ones that flash, and depending on when you shoot them, will either die quietly, level the playing field, or hurt you. If that's not enough to keep you on your toes, we have the Big Daddy Voodoo guy that's almost unstoppable. Bullets just bounce off him. I'm sure that's where the special ammo you've collected comes into play, but I couldn't figure it out. Every time you clear a stage, you're treated to another cutscene. That's when we meet Miss Cliché, shoving her contrived little tits right in our face, proclaiming she's a reporter that's gonna crack a big story.
Julie Barnes, journalist. She read my stuff. Syndicated. But when I break this story, I'll have a book, late night talk shows, TV, the works.
The only thing you gonna break, lady, is your neck.
Winston, I'm trying to talk to the lieutenant here. Cool toy. I bet you know how to turn it on.
This twat's a far cry from April O'Neil. Miss Cliché may be easy on the eyes, and her dialogue is hysterical, but she's nothing more than an irritation no skin cream can touch. More shooting. You'll fight in swamps, abandoned airfields, etc. Looks decent, except the video is dithered and sometimes jerky. Zombies look like digitized cardboard cutouts against full-motion backgrounds. Corpse Killer looks okay, but I expected a little more from a SEGA CD 32X game. I'm not really sure how this compares to the SEGA CD original. If this is how the 32-bit upgrade looks, I don't think I want to see the 16-bit version. The control is totally bone. My Menacer's busted, so I'm stuck using the controller. It's responsive and all, though I've never been a fan of using traditional gamepads for light gun games. One problem I always encounter encounter in these situations is that the crosshair doesn't move fast enough. After a few stages, the action amps up and I can't stay with it. Sound is hollow, no bass, and there's a low hiss that permeates the soundtrack, almost as if I'm listening to a worn-out VHS tape or something. I've played countless cartridge games with audio of higher quality. Corpse Killer isn't the worst game I've ever played, it's definitely playable, and there is a strange appeal to strafing through this shooting gallery. It feels like I'm playing a subpar Roger Corman movie, which isn't a bad thing. The charm wears thin over time, and I find myself wanting to play something better. After all is said and done, I can't really recommend this one. This version in particular can be kinda pricey, so I'd suggest you stick with the SEGA CD copy if you're in dire need of a B-grade zombie massacre. Or you can pick up the Saturn version, dubbed the Graveyard Edition. Supposedly it has better video and audio, which would be a welcome improvement. Really, the only feature I want are subtitles.
We can party some now, huh? I not so dumb, bruh. Bet you bad, man, with that shooting iron, huh?
Yeah, I have no clue. To make matters worse, this is the one version that lacks light gun support. What kind of sense does that make? As you can see here, the video actually fills the screen and the audio is more crisp. What really baffles me is how there's two streams of bullets hurtling towards the zombies. I don't get it. I could say more, but I'm afraid my copy is defective. Ugh, I'm crushed. I will say this though, the pause screen is hilarious.